So let's see what we're going to do in this project. We're going to make this pretty interesting design, right? But we're going to use variables, right? And why? Why? People ask me, why do we have to use variables? Well, I'll show you. If I change something over here, if I use variables and then I make a change like over here, you see, I say, well, let me make a change in the cube size. The cube size used to be 2, now it's 1. And then when I run it, and you see everything changes just with that one variable difference, right? I'll do one other thing. The small size is based on the large size, right? So that's the middle cube. So what if I change that? Look, if I change the small size to 3 and I run it again, everything updates. I didn't have to look at all this code that I didn't have to touch, right? I mean, we're going to have to write this code here, but nothing changed here, right? Because I'm using variables. Look at all this code, right? Didn't have to touch it. I could do something else. I could also change the position, right? So right now I had it at 2, that's the z. Let's make it minus 2. And this is 1 and 1, right? So x, the middle one, controls everything. So if I go here and look, it moved to the new position. 1, 1, negative 2. Z was negative 2. So if you kind of take a look, you see Z was negative 2, X and Y are 1. So that's why we use variables, because I don't want to go through all this code and change all these numbers because I want something different, right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this file in Schoology called Blender Cubes template. You're going to download it and you're going to open it up. So this is how it looks, right? It's got some things in there, but if you run it, there's nothing there. See, if I run it, nothing happens because we have to do our own code. So the first thing we have to do is we have to select this, to do variables, we have to select the size. So I'm going to say size large. This is my first variable, and I'll make it equal to 1. And size small, and I'll make it equal to size large. Divided by 2 right now. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to make two materials, one for the small and one for the large. So I'm going to say mat small, and I'll say make material, right? And that will be the material for the small, and I'll say mat large equals make material for the large. So they'll have two different materials, right? And now we're going to make our first cube, right? And I'm going to do a little bit of comment here. So I'm going to say set main cube. Main, set main. Yeah, okay. Set main cubes. So what do I need? I need to make some cubes, right? Call that, yeah, I'll call that middle cube instead. Middle cube. So what do I need? I need its location. So I'm going to say L, this is the LX, and I'll say 0 for now, right? We can change it later. So LY equals 0 and LZ equals 0. The other thing that I need is the location, right? So I'll say location. Oops. Location equals LX, LY, and LZ. And we're using variables, right? So we got the location. Now, this is the thing, right? So later, if I change this, I don't have to change the code. I just change the location and something will change. And then the next thing I will do is I have to make the cube. So I'll just copy that and you can copy it from here. And you see what we're doing. We're making the location of the cube. We're setting its size, and then we're setting its materials. Did I have this right? So I call that mat small, mat large. So mat large. So that should give us our first cube. If I run, right? If I run, you see I have my first cube. That's the middle cube. Okay, so now I'm going to make the small cube, and this one will be um, the small cube. Let's see. So this is Z. So I'm going to make it to the right. So this will be small right cube, right? And what I need is its x location. Well, I'm going to base it on the big cube, right? The big cube. And I'm going to base the y location on the big cube, the one above, right? So that's y. And the z location on LZ. And so I'll say location equals, just like before, so this will be x, y, and z, right? So we got a little problem. I'm going to see a little problem in a second because if I make this cube, so here's location size, and you see size small, and I said size small, that's okay, but this is MAT small, right? So if I do this MAT small and I run it, the small cube is actually inside the big cube. You can kind of see it. So we need to move it to the right. That's okay. We'll just take this and we'll say plus, and we'll add the size large plus size small. Oops, small, right? And that should move it to the right. You see, well, actually, it should be by 2. It should be by 2, right? So now you see perfectly there on the right. Okay, I'm going to do the one on the left too. So look what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this, right? And I'm just going to do one more and show you how the variables work. So this will be left. And look what I have. Oops. Uh, I think I got it left. I just have to make this minus, right? I don't have to change anything here. And this will be the one on the left. There it is, right? And now I just want to show you, with these two, what happens. If I change this one to 2, if I change the large size to 2 and I run it, see, it just nicely fits together. It just resizes. I didn't have to touch any of this code. Imagine if you had these hard coded and you had numbers here. You have to go and change all these numbers. So you see the beauty of this, right? So now I'm going to do a couple of more. I'm going to do the one on the top. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say small uh, top. Well, yeah, top is okay, but it's going to have to be the Z. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to say Z. And I think if it's top, it has to be a plus to the Z, right? So if I run it now, that should be one on the top. Okay, let's keep on going. I'm going to do the bottom too. So bottom, oops, looks like I don't have my copy. So copy, and I'm going to say I should have copied the comment too. So I'm going to copy the comment, and this one will be below, right? Below, and I'm just going to make this one minus. See, so now if I run it, I have uh, below 2. Okay, what I like you to do is I like you to make the one in front and the one in back. Okay, well, I did mine. I called it near, that's the one in front, and I called it far. And you see, I had to change the Y location. So I'm hoping that you have that, right? So if I run it again, it'll give me some different colors. So again, now, excuse me. Again, if I go up here and I decide to change something, so for instance, let's say I want to move it down by 2. I want to move this block. I don't have to change this location, the big one, because see, it moved down by 2, right? I didn't have to change any of this code. Why? Because we're using variables, okay? So let's go to the next step. I'm going to change this back to 1 and I'm going to change this back to 0. Okay, so now I want to make one of the same like this to the right. Okay, I'm going to run it just to get it back. See? Okay, and I'm going to make one to the right. So I'm going to copy this whole code right here. And I thought, yeah, middle cube. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add some comments here because it's going to get pretty busy. So I'm going to just add some separator here to keep me organized. So you see, this is the middle cube. Now, I want the right cube. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy everything. I'm going to copy everything and I'm going to paste it down below. And I'm going to call this set right cubes. So now the location of this one, right, will have to be based on the previous one. So, okay, so what I want to do is I want to base this second large one to the first large one, right? But I can't use the same name, so I'm going to have to change the name. So this will be the only time we have to do this. Later on, it's not going to have to do it. So I'm going to call this LXS for second. Okay, this is the second one. So LS second, and it's based on LX. That's the first one. And LY. I told you if we once we do this, we don't have to do the other ones. And of course, I'm going to have to change this to S and S and S, right? And then again, I'm going to have to change this to S and S and S, right? So this location is based on the first one, but all the other locations are based on the second one. So I'm going to have to go S and S and S and S. Okay, so that's a little bit of work, but I told you it's a one-shot deal. Next time we don't have to do it for the others. So S and S, S and S and S. Now, the only issue is where do I want this second one, right? I don't want it in the same place, right? I want it to the right. So I'm going to, again, do this business, right? So plus, and I'm going to say size. Well, I guess I can copy it here. So I'm just going to copy this here. And I don't think I need the two, right? So you see, so this new middle one, right, will be to the right. So let's check it out. So run script, and you see, if I go to the Z, so you see it's to the right of the previous one because I moved the middle one. You see, I moved the middle one, and all the other ones, the small ones, are based on this S one, right? I got a little problem though. I got to fix though. There's actually two right here. So if I go to modeling and I go to object mode and I click over here and I click on this one, and you see there's another one there. It's not that's not the same for the other ones. The other ones are okay, but this one there's two, right? So I want to fix that. So on this set right cubes, I don't need the left one, right? Because look, on the left I have already one. So I'm going to go to the left and I'm going to comment this out. So I'm going to say comment, toggle comment. Now, if I run this, I should still see the same thing. But now there's only one there, right? So you're going to have to do this. We don't want doubling of these cubes. I'm going to do one more, right? So I'm going to just show you one more. I'm going to do the left one. So I'm going to copy this one, right? There it is. Copy that one. Uh, Paste it in. I'm going to call this one left. Now, see how nice this is? I just changed this minus. Oops. This thing sometimes deletes. Oh, left is okay. Left is okay, but the minus. And now I don't need, so if I do the left one, right? If I run, but now on the left one, I don't need the right one because there's two here, right? If you, if you don't believe me, let's take a look, right? So if I select, I'm in object mode, yeah. So if I select, oh, wait a second. Is it this one? Yeah, there are two over here. I'm in the wrong position. So here we are. So you see on this one, there are two. So I do need the left one on this one, but I don't need the right one. So I'm going to go. So this left one is okay. So I'm going to toggle back, right? Toggle back, but I don't need the right one. So I'm going to toggle and don't delete. I'm going to toggle the comments. Okay. So now if I run, you see it looks fine. So your job is to do the top, bottom, and back and front and end up with the one that we started at the beginning, which I'll show you. So here it is, right? I did all the ones on the top, right? We did the left and right, but you didn't do the top. You have to do the top. You have to do the bottom. You have to do the right, the one in front and the one in back. So if you notice, I have them here, nicely labeled. I'll start from the back, right? So you see, and this one is down, right? So that's the one below. And as you notice, my Z has changed, right? And I don't need the top one, right? Which one is this? The top one, right? So that's what you have to do. So you have to comment out the ones that we don't need. But you see, I got the up, I got the bottom, I got the Which one? Well, anyway, I got them. So you have to finish it up.